In the previous lecture, we started talking about Python variables. Now let's take this discussion a step further and let's talk about a specific type of data that we're going to be putting into Python variables. Let's talk about numeric values. And we're going to talk about 3 different types of numeric values that you can utilize inside of Python. Now the first one, it's going to be a very common one called an integer. Take a look. So I've got my command window back up. I'm looking at the Python command, and I'm going to bring back that x variable again. I'm going to say x is going to be equal to 15. All right, I'm going to hit my enter key here. So we now know that somewhere within memory, there's a variable called x, and it now holds this value of 15. Now, what is that value? What type of value is being stored inside of this variable of x? Well, I'm going to bring in the print method, and I'm going to utilize another method here called type. I want to know what type of value is being stored inside of x. I'm going to hit my enter key. Class int. So it's of type int or integer. 15 is a numeric value. It's an integer. Let's try another one here. Let's say y is going to be equal to 1.15. I'm going to hit my enter key. All right, so I've declared, or I've created another variable here called y, and I've given it a value of 1.15. Well, it's a numeric value, but what type of numeric value is that? So once again, I'm going to bring in print. I'm going to bring in type, and I want to know what type y is. Hit my enter key. It's a float. It's got a decimal point inside of there. It's a float type. All right, let's try another one. So let's see. I'm going to use z this time. I'm going to say z is equal to 3. But I'm going to wrap that number 3 inside of quotes. Now, typically, when you see quotes, this is interpreted as a string type. Well, or text value. We saw that earlier when we did the print hello world. Hello world was wrapped in quotes. Well, what's going to happen here? So let's say I bring in print again, and I'm going to print out the type of z. All right, and I'm going to hit my enter key. Ooh, class string. It's a string type. Now it's actually a numeric value, right? We got a number 3 in there. But because we wrapped it in quotes, Python is treating it as a string. And we'll talk some more about strings. There's all sorts of little goodies that you can do with string data types. Okay? But here we've got a numeric value that can potentially be treated 3 different ways. Okay? And there's other numeric types. Okay? But integers and floats are 2 of the very common types of numeric values that you'll utilize as you program within Python. Now, once again, there are other types. There's one called complex. Okay? Recommend take a look at that one. Okay? But for now, we're taking a look at integers and floats. Okay? And as a bonus there, we're going to talk about strings here in a moment, but you can treat numeric values as strings, which can be a bad thing and something that we need to overcome. Okay? So we'll talk some more about that. We'll talk about strings and so on. But first, try this out. Okay? Bring in a variable, x, y, z, whatever you want to call it, give it a numeric value, and then find its type. Try it out.